When I was in the 5th grade, it was around November or February, I'm not sure, when Oscar Hinojosa and Raymond Nettles were saying a word that phonetically sounded like liquor, as in the alcoholic beverage, or liquor, such as the action done with the tongue. One day Hinojosa told me to say that, and believing he was saying liquor, I said it, and him, Sergio Jimenez, and Nettles started laughing. At the same time, a new song from Chris Brown came out called Kiss Kiss with T-Pain. And in that song, T-Pain calls Chris Brown Pretty Boy, and Chris Brown calls T-Pain Nappy Boy. Then one day I was listening to the radio when they played that song, and the DJ was like, Nappy Boy, the N-word. Then one day we were having PE at the school's auditorium, either due to the weather or we had to do something requiring us to be inside. I remember at the time there were these games in cereal boxes, and it was so fun. I loved that toy, and I often took it with me to school. Then Hinojosa, Nettles, and Brandon Skull were teasing me by saying that I farted, with Nettles calling me fucking stupid and Skull announcing it to everyone. Oscar was talking shit, and I threatened him with a mechanical pencil in my jacket's pocket where I had my game. Then one of the coaches, Petty, came up to me and I tried to tell her what they were doing, but she didn't believe me. Then this fucking punk bitch, she punishes me by taking away my game directly from my pocket, and I angrily demanded her to give it back to me, telling her that she couldn't take anything away from me, that I had to give it to her. She could not just take it out of my pockets. But you have to understand that at this fucking school they didn't have someone always looking at them, so they could do whatever they want and could get away with it. Anyway, as I was feeling absolutely helpless, I decided to retaliate against the system, and I opened the fire extinguisher. And then Coach Hilton was like, shut that off. I ignored him, and he came up to me and closed it. Then I told on Skull to the AP, and then he explained to me as we were waiting at the attendance office that he didn't directly accuse me of farting, that he heard someone say I farted and that he was only reacting to it. So we talked to the AP and it was cleared. Then me and Miss Aguilar went to Miss Thomas to get Raymond Nettles. And as we were walking in the hallway, I started missing my game and I started to cry, saying that was my favorite toy. When we got back to the AP's office, I told Aguilar that he called me fucking stupid. Then she turned to him and said, again with that swearing? And Nettles tried to deny it by saying that he only said that I was stupid, but Aguilar didn't believe him. It was also at this time when I realized that those kids that were telling me to say what I thought was liquor were actually telling me to say the N-word. And I told her that for some time him and those other kids were forcing me to say the N-word. And when Aguilar asked me what was the N-word, I was about to say Nappy Boy from believing the radio host, but something was holding me back. So when she asked Nettles what the word was, he said the N-word, and I felt stupid for believing that stupid radio host. But anyway, fucking bitch Petty never gave me back my game, and unfortunately they stopped putting those games in cereal boxes. Fuck you, Petty. See you in hell.